fam, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Be the fam, that's...
Ew. I'm trying to do it like Cardi. Cardi had told Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy, whatever that nigga name, she had told him in the exact right way how to do the ew. You gotta go ew. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl T Michelle back here with another video. And today, because I was sitting here thinking about it, I was thinking about it ever since we got into February. I was like, yo, it's February. Valentine's Day is about to come up. And I started thinking, have I ever had like the best Valentine's Day ever? Like, is there any Valentine's Day that I remember more than any Valentine's Day that I ever had? Oh yeah. So today it's a special story time. It's a Valentine's Day story time. Story time, story time, story time, story time. About to do a story time. Okay, y'all. So in order for me to do this story time, I want y'all to think back on two particular videos that I did in the past. One was called A Bronx Tale. And the second was called Nasty Neighbor. Those two story times. In those two story times, I mentioned a guy that I was talking to at the time. So this story time is going to be about that guy. That guy is the one that gave me the most memorable Valentine's Day I have ever had, even to this day at 34 years old. And I think I was like 27 then. I was either 26 or 27 at the time. And this man has yet to be topped. He has yet to be topped by anybody. By my ex-boyfriend. Well, anybody can top that nigga because he wasn't shit. And he didn't do shit. He wasn't romantic. He wasn't nice. You know what I'm saying? By my ex-fiance, like, I love you, boo, but you could not top this nigga right here. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't, he didn't do nothing extravagant, nothing, out of the ordinary, nothing that he bought me. He just used his head. So, if y'all want, y'all can go back to those other story times where I mentioned him. So, I had told him that I was going to do this videos, and he was cool with it, so I don't have to change his name. His name was Dave. I don't have to change his name. And Dave, I don't remember how I met him. I don't even remember the first time I met him, just because we kicked it so much, and I don't remember the whole full details of how we met or whatever, but I'm going to just give you some stats on Dave. Dave was from the Soundview section of the Bronx. He was older than me. He had to be like 5 or 6, maybe 5 or 6 years older than me or whatever. First dude that I ever messed with that was older than me. I was usually dating dudes that was my age or a little bit younger, but he was the first dude that was older than me. He was tall. He was so fine. You know what I'm saying? He's still fine. He's still fine. He still look good. He's aging very well. But he was tall. Not real tall, but I'm 5'3", y'all. Everybody taller than me. So he was tall. He had grayish, like greenish eyes. I still don't know the color of his eyes, y'all. I just know he had these light, beautiful, sexy eyes. He was tatted. He was brolic at the time. Not real brolic, but just my type. Y'all know I like them slim, sexy dudes. You know what I'm saying? And he smelled good. That's like one of the things that I remember the most about him, that he used to smell so good. I don't know what cologne he used to wear, but he used to smell so fucking good. Y'all, from the minute I met him, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, I was in love with him from the minute that I met him. I don't know what it was about him, but I had just got out of a terrible relationship before me and him met. Which was ironic because the dude that I was with before him his name was David too. But he didn't like to be called David. He's Dave. Like, nah, don't call me David. Call me Dave. But the dude that I was with before him was abusive. The dude used to hem me up and do all type of shit. I'll tell y'all about that another time. But we talking about love today. We talking about love. And the dude that I was with before him was abusive. And so I was kind of cautious when it came to dating again. Like, I was scared, y'all. I was honestly scared of dating again. Because prior to that, the dude that I was talking to, the one that was abusive, he used to be like, if I ever got with somebody else, or if I ever got serious with somebody else, that he would come and do all type of crazy shit. He used to say all type of crazy shit, y'all. So I was scared, not only for the person that I was dealing with, but for myself. Like, he would always be like, yo, if you ever get with somebody else serious or whatever, I'll find you and beat your ass again, and all type of stuff like that. He used to say all type of shit like that. He ain't never did shit because he was a punk bitch, but he never did shit. So I was scared when I met Dave. Like I said, I was in love with him. I don't know what it was about him. Just because he was so reserved. He was just cool. He was like a cool, laid back kind of dude. And y'all know I don't like flashy dudes. Like, I don't like flashy dudes. I don't like dudes that's loud. I don't like dudes that talk too much. I don't like none of that. He was none of those things. He was just cool. He was just a silent killer, y'all. I love them silent killers. He was a silent killer. So we weren't ever like official tissue boyfriend, girlfriend. We just spent a lot of time together or whatever like that. So I remember feeling like he ain't really like me. Like, I always felt like that. Like, whenever, you know what I'm saying? After, just because he wouldn't claim me. That's why I always felt like he ain't like me, because he wouldn't claim me. He would never call me his girlfriend. So I was like, he don't really like me. I think he's just like sleeping with me or whatever like that. Or maybe he likes spending time with me. Like, that's how I felt. That's how I started feeling after a while. I was just like, because we was talking for like a good year and change. You know what I'm saying? We would talk for like a year and change. But I never got the title of a girlfriend. So I was just like, he don't really like me. And I always felt like he ain't like me. So prior to Valentine's Day, we had a date and we were supposed to meet at this diner. For y'all that's from Queens, there's a diner. It's not there no more. They closed it down. Come to find out they closed that shit down. I can't believe they closed that shit down, because that was like the best diner ever. George's Diner. It was right there on Queens Boulevard or whatever. It's right there by the Target outlet, like the mall with Target in it. It was like right there. So I don't remember whose idea was it, but I was just on some shit like, I want us to go to a diner, because it was an all night diner. Like, it never closed. So I was like, I want us to go to this diner or whatever like that. And he was like, okay. But I kind of felt like he didn't want to go. I felt like he didn't want to like go out with me or whatever. Because I don't remember us ever going on like a real date. I don't think we ever did. Like, I really don't remember. I don't remember, y'all. But this was so long ago. That's why I don't remember. I remember this though. But we were supposed to meet up at the first. It started as me and him going together, but then it turned into, I'll meet you there. So I get to the diner, y'all, or whatever, and I'm saying, this didn't happen on Valentine's. I'm telling y'all, this is prior to Valentine's Day. There was probably like a week or two before Valentine's Day. I'm gonna come back to why this is important. But I went and I sat there, y'all, and I sat there and I sat there. I sat there for like a good 2 hours. No Dave. Y'all, I was so embarrassed because I lived in Left Rack. And Left Rack and Queens Boulevard is like that. But like, everybody that lived in Left Rack went to Queens Boulevard to go shopping or eating or whatever the fuck like that. So I saw some people that I knew up in the diner. Like, there was this one lady. She was the sister of the lady that used to take care of me. And she had came up in there and she saw me in there. And we like said hi. But then she was there for a minute. And then when she was leaving, she saw me. And she was like, are you waiting for somebody? Because you've been sitting here a long time. Y'all, I was so embarrassed. But I couldn't say, well, yeah, I got stood up. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that. So I was fronting. I was just like, oh, I'm treating myself tonight. I just felt like, getting something to eat and spending some time with myself or whatever. She was like, yeah, girl, you need to do that because these men ain't shit. And da 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 da. And she's saying all this to me, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, you right. These men ain't shit. Yeah, I was so embarrassed, but I was just like, yeah, I'm spending time with myself and da 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 da. And she was like, all right, well, you have a good night and you get home safe or whatever like that. So I think I sat there for another 30 minutes. And then, like, he had called me, or I had called him, and he was like, oh, I went back home. And I was like, what? And he was like, well, the trains is fucked up. And so I went back home. I was like, well, when the fuck did you realize that the trains was... He said some shit like they wasn't stopping at the stop where the diner was. The diner was on Grand Avenue. Like, you get off at Grand Avenue on the R train or the V train. And he was saying that they wasn't stopping at Grand Avenue. So I was like, I don't believe this nigga. And so when he told me that, I was like, I don't believe this fucking nigga. And I remember, y'all, I had went. I don't know what fucking train he was on. But I had went downstairs, y'all. This is, like I'm telling you, this is how fucking, like, I was crazy about him. So I had went downstairs. When he had told me that, I was like, I hung up the phone. I was like, all right. He was like, I'm still going to see if I could come see you, if I could jump in a cab or something and come see you or whatever like that. But I had went downstairs in the train station and I stood there and I waited to see if the train would stop. Y'all, a fucking train stopped. A fucking train stopped. I was like, this nigga just don't want to come see me. Like, he stood me up. He don't want to come. Y'all, I was so heartbroken. I was so fucked up. So when Valentine's Day came along, I wasn't expecting to hear from him. I wasn't expecting to see him. I wasn't expecting nothing. Like, I had already had on my pajamas and my popcorn and my chocolate. I think I had ordered a pizza or some shit like that. Like, I was sitting there chilling. Like, I was just like, I know this nigga ain't going. He don't like me. He don't care about me. So I'm not even going to expect nothing from Valentine's Day. Y'all, I was so depressed. I was really sitting there on my fat girl shit because I was so depressed. Like, I was like, he ain't gonna call me or nothing like that. And I didn't even hear from him. I didn't even hear from him Valentine's Day, the daytime. At like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, he calls me. He's like, what you doing? I was like, oh, I'm just sitting on the bed watching TV or whatever. I'm chilling. He was like, you got plans for tonight? I wanted to say, nigga, of course I ain't got no fucking plans. You ain't called me and asked me out nowhere. What the fuck you mean do I got plans? Do you think I got plans? But I was like, no, I ain't got no plans tonight or whatever like that. He was like, yo, can I come through? I was like, yeah, you come through or whatever like that. And y'all, every female does this. I don't care how mad you are. I don't care how much you say to yourself. I ain't fucking with this nigga no more. Like, this nigga on some bullshit. I ain't gonna have nothing to do with him. Y'all, the minute I hung up that phone, I started screaming. I was like, ah! He coming to see me on Valentine's Day! I was going crazy in there. But at the same time, I was like, yo, this nigga stood me up like 2 weeks ago. So should I really even believe him? Like, should I really be like, yeah, he about to come see me or whatever like that? So I sat on my bed for a little while and I was like, because my apartment was a mess. Like, I told y'all, like, I had already had it in my mind, like, I ain't got a, like pizza box here. You know, my bed was all a mess. My bed wasn't even made or whatever. Like, y'all, I went and I changed my sheets. I went and cleaned. Because he was in the Bronx. It was going to take him a minute to get to me. So I went and straightened up and shit. And then the whole time I'm doing it, I'm like, I'm doing all this shit. This nigga probably not even going to come. Like, he going to call me and be on some shit like, oh, I couldn't make it. Oh, the trains ain't running. Like, I was like, I'm doing all this. And he probably ain't even going to show up. So then I'm sitting there and I'm just like, should I get sexy? should I put on something sexy for him or whatever? Because like I told y'all, he was older than me, and this is the only nigga I had did this for prior. Prior to this, I had never did this for no other nigga. Because A, I was self-conscious about my body. And B, I was like, I don't understand the point of lingerie because you put it on and the nigga gonna rip it off you. So what's the point of it? You know what I'm saying? But because he was older than me, I remember I went and I bought all this lingerie because he had like stuff like that. He told me that he was into like lingerie and stuff. So I remember I went and I bought all this lingerie that he never knew about. But I was like, every time he come through, I'm gonna put on a new lingerie for him or whatever like that. This shit just used to be sitting in the closet. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do something real light. I ain't even going to put on the whole, I ain't going to waste my lingerie because he probably ain't even going to come. So I think I put on like some lace panties or something. I don't even remember, y'all. I don't remember what the fuck I had on. I know it wasn't nothing extravagant. Like it wasn't no G-string or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there. It's getting late. The sun is setting and shit. I'm like, this nigga ain't gonna come. Like, I'm sitting here like, this nigga's not gonna... I'm gonna get stood up again. He gonna make an ass out of me a fucking again. And he calls me. He's like, yo, I just got off the train. I'm about to walk to you. I was like... I said, yo, he's really coming. He's really coming. I said, okay, I gotta get serious now. I gotta get fucking serious. I can't be talking that shit. I gotta get serious. So I went and like sprayed my bed down. I put on my little Victoria's Secret spray. Like I sprayed all the shit down and stuff. I think I lit candles, y'all. I don't remember. I can't remember completely if I had candles lit. But I made sure that the room with the because I had a studio apartment. So I made sure that the studio apartment was like that. I turned off all the lights in the house, like all type of stuff. I was like, y'all, okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for his ass or whatever. Y'all, I was so in love. I was so in love. My heart is like this. My heart was going like this and stuff. I went and put on the heels for him. I went and threw on some heels for him and shit like that. Couldn't walk in them shits for shit. But I was like, he likes it. He likes these types of things, y'all. So that's what I did. So then I hear my doorbell ring. I'm like, ah, shit. I'm like, okay. But I'm hearing the ladies outside. Like there was I had these nosy ass next door neighbors, y'all. And they was always fighting. I don't know if they was lesbians or if they was mother and daughter. But they was always fighting. But I heard them out there before I opened the door. Like I'm walking to the door. And I'm hearing them like, ooh, I'm hearing them do all that. But I'm not paying no attention. So then I open the door. This dude is standing there. He had this big thing of flowers. It was like a big thing of flowers. I was like, oh, he likes me. Oh my God. He bought me flowers, y'all. Before Dave, I had gotten a rose before. I had gotten like the little plastic rose. I had got the little corny ass hearts, the little candy hearts that say kiss me, I love you. I had gotten that. I never got a bouquet of flowers from no man. So when I opened the door and I seen it, I was like, oh my God, he bought me flowers. And the girls outside was like, is that for me? I wanted to say, no, bitch, that's not for you. God, I'm like, come in. He gave them to me and stuff, and I'm like trying to hold steady in my heels so I don't bust my ass. But y'all, I almost bust my ass because I was shocked. I was like, so I'm trying to hold steady so I'm trying to, be sexy, but I'm like feeling giddy because he got me flowers. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, you so sweet, you got me flowers. He was like, yeah, I got you flowers or whatever like that. So then we go into the apartment or whatever. We sitting there doing what we usually do. We sitting there talking on the bed and all type of stuff like that. And I told him, like, I was like, I didn't think that you was going to come. He was like, why would you think that I wouldn't come? I told you that I was coming. I was like, because you stood me up 2 weeks ago. And he was like, Tracy, I told you that the trains had stopped running. And I was just like, I didn't tell him like, oh, I went downstairs and I saw a train stop at Grand Avenue, but I ain't say all that. I was just like, okay. But he was like, I didn't stand you up on purpose. He was like, I apologize. Like, I'm sorry for that or whatever like that. But this is why I had to come and make it up to you. I was like, oh. And in my head, I'm just like, yo, I'm so in love with this man. At the time, y'all, I didn't tell him that I was in love with him. I knew, though. I knew prior to that. Prior to that, his birthday had came around. And I had bought him a watch for his birthday. I had went and bought him a watch. And y'all, I remember like yesterday when I went into the store. I bought him a swatch. His favorite color was yellow. I don't know why. Because you look at him and you wouldn't think that. But his favorite color was yellow. And I remember going into the swatch store and being like, yo, this is what I said to the guy. It was a flaming dude. He was gay. I was like, you have to help me pick out a watch for somebody. He was like, ooh, is it your boyfriend? Is it your boyfriend? I said, no, but I'm so in love and I want him to be my boyfriend. So he was like, he showed me all the watches. He was like, you give him this watch, he's going to be your boyfriend. Y'all, I swear, that's what the guy in the swatch store said. He said, I gave one to my boyfriend. He's like, you give this to him, he's gonna be your boyfriend. And I bought him a swatch. For his friend. Y'all, I hadn't even been talking. Like I said, he wasn't my man. He wasn't my man or whatever like that. We wasn't even talking that long at the time. But I went and bought, because I was in love with him, y'all. Love at first sight. So, like I said, at the time of Valentine's Day, I didn't tell him that I was in love with him, but I knew that I was in love with him. So we sitting there, we talking and stuff like that, and then he's like, close your eyes. So I'm like, for what? He's like, close your eyes. I got a surprise for you. So I'm like, oh, shit. So I close my eyes. I hear stuff moving around. I hear him like fumbling over here. Like noises is coming all over. Like every angle, noises is coming. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm like, is he taking shit? And I don't know. I'm gonna open my eyes and he gonna be going and all my shit gonna be going. So I open my eye. He's like, all right, open your eyes. He's like, okay, you can open your eyes now. So I open my eyes and he's standing in front of me. And he got his shirt off. He used to wear these wife beaters, y'all. And y'all, oh my God, y'all. This man was so fine. He was so fine. Y'all, it was that thug shit, y'all. The tattoos and the wife beater and shit. I'm making this shit sound like a movie, but it was. It was like a movie. So he's standing in front of me and I'm looking and he got his shirt off. So I'm just like, I said, so what? You my surprise? He's like, no, turn around. Look at the bed. Yeah, I turned around. This nigga had sprinkled rose petals all over the bed. Like, he made it just look all over the bed. And I know some of y'all is like, that ain't shit. That's what people do. Y'all, prior to being with him, this has never happened. This has never, ever happened before. Like I told y'all, I only had niggas come and give me one rose and that nasty ass heart candy. And if I was lucky, maybe a card or whatever and stuff. But no nigga ever really like used his head and bought me a whole bunch and bought me flowers and made my bed look like paradise. Like, you know what I'm saying? None of that. And he starts rubbing on my thighs and stuff. And I'm in awe, y'all. Like, I'm in awe because I'm just like, I'm so in love with this man. But now it's like I'm even more in love with him because he actually did this for me and stuff. And in my head, I'm just like, maybe he really do like me. Maybe I'm just telling myself that he don't like me and stuff. But maybe he really do like me. Look what he did. Like, he went and did all of this. Like, he really went and thought and did all of this. And I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, you really did this for me? He's like, yes, I did it for you. And I was like, oh my God, take me now. Y'all, we fucked up that bed. We fucked up that bed. Y'all, I'm surprised I didn't punch holes in the wall. Y'all, we went in, like we went the fuck in. Y'all, if he would have let it happen, I would have got pregnant that night. Cause I wanted to have his kids. I wanted to have his kids. I wanted to get. Yo, I used to say it to him all the time, like I want to have your baby. Have your baby. I want to get married to you and stuff. He used to laugh. He used to be like, let's just wait and see what happens. Don't jump the gun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Calm down. We'll see what happens. If it happens, then it happens. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Y'all, we fucked up that bed. That bed was fucked up. I was so in love, y'all. I was so in love with this man. And then after that, we just stopped talking to each other. Like, y'all. Because I don't know if it was he wasn't ready for a relationship, period, or he just ain't want to be in no relationship with me. Cause I was intense. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And I'm still that way. I'm still very much that way. When I'm in love with somebody, there's no way in hell you could know that I'm not in love with you. There's no, like, unless you're stupid, unless you're dumb and you just don't want to pay attention. But there's no way you cannot know if I'm in love with you, because I'm very intense. Like, I'm very intense. And I don't know if I was maybe too intense. Like, I came on a little too strong or whatever like that. But that happened. The Valentine's Day happened. And then the nasty neighbor shit happened. The nasty neighbor shit happened. He had came over the night. I don't even remember what the fuck he came. I think it was just a regular day. In fact, this was the first time I had told him that I loved him. And he had came over that night or whatever like that. And again, we fucked up that bed. We fucked up the entire bed. And I think I had a new bed at the time. Yeah, I had just bought a new bed. Because I had a futon. And then for my birthday, my pops had bought me a bed. He had bought me a huge queen size bed or whatever. And he had came over and we fucked up that bed. Because I was like, Dave, I love you. Like, I love you. Like, I'm in love with you. And we fucked up that bed. And then the next day, you know, that nigga left that note on my door. And then I went and I told him about it. And he was just like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, why are you telling me? Like, what do you expect me to do about it? He was like, you think I'm going to leave the Bronx to go? I was like, yo! And I don't want to make him sound like an asshole, y'all, because he wasn't an asshole. I've dated assholes. Y'all know I have encountered asshole. He wasn't an asshole. I just don't think his sensors was on. Like, I don't think that he was capable of loving somebody at that time. Like, I don't think that he would, you know what I'm saying? I think it was scary. I think it was scary for him for whatever reason. And then, like, we just stopped talking. And then I met my ex-fiance. And honestly, y'all, it's funny because I feel like if that didn't happen, I never would have met my ex-fiance. Because I started dating. Because when I was talking to Dave, I wasn't talking to nobody. Like, I was dating and it was guys that I was talking to. Yo, I cut all them off. When I started talking to him, I cut all of them off. And he wasn't my man. But I just felt in my spirit that I need to cut off all these niggas. Because they can't do for me what this nigga's doing for me. I cut all of them off. So when I was talking to him, I wasn't talking to nobody else. It was just him. So when he did that, when I had called him, and then, like, it was other shit, y'all. Like, he would never call me unless I called him first. He would never text me unless I text him first and stuff like that. And I was just like, yo, this nigga, like, how do you make love to me the way that you make love to me? How do you do sweet shit for me and nice shit for me and stuff, and then treat me like that? Like, you treat me like not that I don't matter, but you treat me like, you know, this ain't that type of party. Like, you know what I'm saying? One minute I felt like we was on the same page, and then the next minute I felt like we wasn't on the same page. So when that happened, when the whole nasty ass neighbor shit happened, and he was on some shit like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do about it? My heart, y'all, broke into a million pieces, because I was just like, he really ain't trying to be my man. He really ain't trying to be with me like that. Like, he don't even want to protect me. Like, I'm telling you, I'm scared because this nigga is letting it be known, like, I'm watching you. I be sitting in this. That's what the letter said, y'all. The letter said, yo, I be sitting in the staircase listening to you have sex. Y'all. When he said that, y'all, my heart just broke into a whole bunch of pieces. So I was like, you know what? I need to get this nigga out of my system. I'm gonna start dating. I'm gonna start fucking with other niggas. I'm single, and he never said that I couldn't do it. So, you know what I'm saying? He never said that. I don't know. And I'm like, I don't know why I stopped. I don't even know why I put all my eggs in one basket. I was like, yo, I'm gonna start talking to other niggas. I went on 2 dates, y'all. One, one, the nigga took me to the movies, and then when we was leaving, he was like, so yeah, you gonna buy a nigga a Metro card? I was like, excuse me? He was like, oh, you gonna buy a nigga a Metro card? I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? You got here without me. Why you can't get home without me? He was like, cause yo, I just bought you to the movies. Like, I just bought your ticket at the movies. I was like, so? I'm like, oh, because you bought my ticket. Nigga, I could have bought my own ticket if it was all that. If you ain't had no money to first of all, why you ask me if you can't afford it? Why you ask me? That's number one. Number two, if you ain't got no money to pay for a movie and your way home, what the really? You really expect? And I left that nigga right there in the train station. He called me all types of bitches and whores. Y'all, he called me all types of bitches and hoes. And this is why you can't do shit for females, because you see what the fuck they do. I just paid for a movie for you and you can't buy a nigga a Metro card. That was the one date. And then the second date was with my ex-fiance. It was with Dre. It turned out to be with Dre. And Dre was very sure of himself. And I had told Dre, I said, listen, when I met Dre, I was like, Dre, listen, there's a guy that I'm in love with, that I'm talking to, that I was talking to, but right now we ain't talking. Dre ain't care. Dre was like, okay, well, that nigga ain't about to be around much longer anyway. And he was right, because I never talked to him again. And then me and Dre started going out more, and then me and Dre became a couple. So, yeah, y'all. We lost contact, but then somehow, I don't even know how, we ended up getting back in contact with each other again. You know what I'm saying? And I had told him, you know, later on in life, I had told him, like, you know how in love I was with you? Like, I was crazy in love with you. Like, and he admitted that, you know, at the time I was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really had nothing to give you. I ain't had nothing to offer you. And then I was kind of talking to somebody else, and a whole bunch of stuff had happened, y'all. A whole bunch of stuff. But he had acted the way he was acting, because like I said, I was giving him intensity. I was giving him intensity, and I was giving him the, listen, if you want me, you can have me. Like, take all of me. Like, I was on some shit like that. And it was intense, and it probably was a lot for him to deal with. But bottom line, we cool now. But yeah, y'all, so that was it. That was my little that was my little Valentine's Day story time. Y'all, fellas, take this as a lesson. Sometimes it's not about buying a chick something. It's not about, you know, feeding her. I mean, we all love food. Food is a given. Like, but sometimes it's not about being able to take her somewhere. Like, oh, I gotta take you out, and oh, I gotta do this. Sometimes it pays to use your head. Like, sometimes it pays to just, like, you know what, I can't take you to where I want to take you, but I'm gonna set the mood. I'm gonna set the mood and make it special. Make it special for you. And y'all, like I said, I was 26 at the time. I'm 34 now. And I have yet to meet a nigga that tops that Valentine's Day. That was the best Valentine's Day I ever had. Now, either it's because I've been single a lot on Valentine's Day, or just nothing like that was done. Like I said, you know, nothing like that was done. Nothing, you know, nothing. That much thought wasn't put into it like that. I don't know why, but like I said, y'all, sometimes it's not about material shit. It's not about exactly what you can give. Sometimes it's about just making her feel special. That's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to make her feel special. And I'm a simple kind of girl. It don't take much to make me feel special. Don't do shit for me that's like out of my element. Like, honestly, y'all, if a nigga was to come and buy me something, I don't know how to take that. I'm being honest. I don't know how to take that. Especially if you're not my man and you buy me something. Like, you buy me like a watch, or you buy me a bracelet, or you buy me like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, give me crystals. Buy me a candle. Like, I like candles and stuff. Buy me candles. Buy me incense. You know, give me stuff that I take interest in. But materialistic shit ain't never been my thing. I like for niggas to use their head. So yeah, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that you enjoyed this story time. I enjoyed telling it, y'all. I keep telling him we got to do a part 2. Shout out to Dave, though. But yeah, y'all, I love y'all. And I'll check y'all and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace. Happy Valentine's Day.